Trump reversed course, now saying Ukraine can retake all its territory, calling Russia's a paper tiger with economic crisis.
And they put 2 feet across your driveway line, right? And you're like, nah, 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 nah. And you scream, Estonia, they're raping me. They're in my house. They broke down my door. And that's not what happened.
Because they're scared. They're small.
Crypto is like whack-a-mole. They'll knock one and one pops up. They can't stop crypto.
So Taiwan is a top buyer in early 2025, and they are a supporter of Ukraine.
They're carrying snow shovels, and I put it to hi-ho, hi-ho. Off to work we go, because they give them basic training, and then they have to keep busy for a year. So they put them at public works.
Hello, this is Natasha and...
The Fugitive.
And we gather every week here to discuss local news.
Or every other week.
Or every other week.
It depends.
to discuss news.
And, events and things from inside Russia, from an inside view. Besides that, Western propaganda you all get.
Or Russian propaganda.
Yeah, Russian propaganda. So we're going to give you the in-between here.
Exactly. And today, so we missed previous week, so we have some more news.
That was your fault we missed it.
Yeah, that's my fault. We're going to discuss it in the end.
We'll talk that later.
Because I had serious reason.
Yeah.
Okay, today we have major global news. European Union adopts 19th sanction package on...
This one's going to work.
On Russia. I didn't even finish.
Go ahead, finish. Go
ahead. Do you believe it's going to work?
Well, the first one, remember when they adopted the first one, like, this is going to cripple Russia. And they're like, well, that didn't work. Let's do number 2. This one will cripple Russia.
Do you think they really believed?
I think they believed it. But now at this point, it's just like, come on, it's a joke. They haven't crushed Iran, and Russia has way more sanctions than Iran, and Iran survived. Russia has more sanctions than Germany did during World War II.
Yeah, but Iran is a different story. They didn't have war or something that they spend budget on. And
I looked this today. So the GDP in 2022, the GDP was 2.1 trillion. It's 2.4 trillion now. So they're like, it's going to kill the economy, but the economy has actually grown here.
I don't like really to look at this GDP
and
because it doesn't show anything. Seriously.
Germany, meanwhile, is projected to have a small reduction.
GDP doesn't show. We need to look at this PPP, I think it's called. That's what, a little bit more realistic.
PPP is when you're comparing to other countries.
Yes.
When you're comparing to yourself, the PPP doesn't. Well, unless the PPP adjusts. But the point is, the GDP for Russia increased. They were saying that they're going to crush Russia, and then the GDP has increased.
In rubles? In dollars?
Well, in both.
Because in dollars would make sense.
Yeah, but in both.
Well, the point of sanctions wasn't really to crush Russia more than,
Did you read when they released the sanctions? They said they were going to crush Russia.
It's in Twitter what they write. In reality, I think the idea was different to reduce the sale of oil.
I'm talking about newspaper headlines and what the politicians actually said. Because I don't pay attention to Twitter until the last 2 weeks, and even then, Twitter is just this cesspool. But I'm talking what the politicians who are enacting the sanctions actually said.
It doesn't matter what they say, because they say one thing and they do another one.
Of course, but I'm saying that the people enacting the sanctions, they were saying they were going to crush Russia.
Economically, of course, it's not going to crush. It's going to be in a recession. We are already kind of in recession. Nabiulina also told us about it during the economic forum, I think. That's what's happening in reality. And that's what I think was the goal really for them. To make it hard for them to sell more oil, not completely to crush economy, doesn't make sense. I don't think they really believe that they want to crash Russia because it's so dangerous to have a huge turmoil on the border. Imagine if Russia will fall into pieces. They will have bigger problems than they have right now.
Okay, when I say crush, I don't mean 1990s crush, but cripple it to the point of they have to give up.
The war?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's not going to happen.
No, they don't want a 1990s Russia around again. Nobody wants that.
No, but there's an argument, People say that they want to crush Russia. They want to divide it into pieces.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
They want to whatever stuff they say. I don't think really Europe or America want this.
Yeah, well, Twitter says that, Russia's going to divide into 50 countries or something.
which is going to be a nightmare. But this time, look, they sanctioned actually crypto firms. Did you see?
The what?
Crypto firms, companies that provide services apparently for, I think, for export. You know, they sell right now using crypto here.
Yeah, that's a subject I know way more than I can talk about here. But they're not gonna stop much. Crypto is like whack-a-mole. They'll knock one and one pops up. They can't stop crypto.
Yeah, that's. But it looks beautiful.
The only thing when they sanction crypto, the only thing they affect is the average person. They have to change, but for the big people, it doesn't affect them at all.
We're not gonna share here, not to be punished, right?
I'm not gonna share my secret.
Not to be in prison.
Future coin.
Maybe we should start our own coin, you know?
Yeah.
To help foreigners to exchange. You're already in sanctions list of Estonia, so nothing to lose.
And apparently the whole entire European Union, thanks to Estonia.
So
yeah, Estonia is a national security threat, so, you know, what else? FBI, Interpol, and Estonia. I mean, Interpol wasn't bad, but Estonia, now I'm screwed.
Yes, she's the head of
Kallas.
She's the head of the foreign ministry. So, but they also implemented new oil prices cap.
Yeah, but the cap doesn't do anything anyways. People don't understand how this cap works. All the cap does is say that if you want to insure the ship, you have to buy at no more than this. But London didn't get the memo that they're not the only insurance provider around the world anymore. So what's happening is Russia's insuring its own ships, China's insuring the ships, and they're just not insuring London, and they're shipping this oil and selling above the price cap anyway. So the price cap isn't really doing that much. That's why there's this shadow fleet. In fact, the shadow fleet has like quadrupled in size. It's like 20% of the world's tankers are now in Russia's shadow fleet. This whole shadow fleet is such a propagandist term anyways, because they're just saying that because the way the international trade works is you can't stop another country's ship from going through international waters to trade unless there's an outright war between those countries. And now they're calling close the Baltic Sea. You can't do that. You can't. Estonia came out and actually the minister.
They say this since long time.
The Prime Minister of Estonia, I think it was, asked Denmark to use the 1857 convention to close the straits, but he's an idiot because even that treaty requires them to declare war on Russia first. So Estonia's like, hey, Denmark, go punch Russia for us. Yeah, we're behind you. And it's like, if Estonia won, the ships have to pass Estonia too. Estonia could do it, but you know, what are they going to do?
You are new to Twitter. This is Twitter debate since I don't know which era.
No. This was the Prime Minister of Estonia.
Yeah, they do this. They write lots of weird stuff on Twitter. Actually, I read it since it started. Actually,
I'm sorry, Estonians. Listen, I love you, Estonians, but your politicians are dumb as rocks. I mean, I know we have some over here that are not.
It's not
top
only
notch either, but Estonia
yeah.
has like the most dumbest rocks of all the politicians out there.
They're populists. They're just populists.
Bad. Estonia, you need some better politicians, really.
Just like
I know you have
how
better people.
Trump is populist, exactly.
I know, but at least in most countries it's a mix. In Estonia, it's like all of them are dumb as rocks.
It's just because we see them. They have normal politicians, believe me.
Not at the federal level.
But we see the loudest ones, and it screws the picture, actually. Because usually the loudest are the ones that make it to news. That's why Trump takes all the new infosphere, because he says so insane stuff all the time.
I know.
And eats all the info, you know. So what do we have next? We have what? Poland-Belarus border closure disrupts China-European Union rail. Poland closed its border with Belarus during the Zapad drills, freezing the China-European Union rail corridor and snarling goods flows.
Yeah, something I forget the numbers, but like 30 to 40% of all the goods coming from China to Europe came through this rail link.
Number, actually.
And so they closed it off for, 2 or 3 weeks and caused a huge backflow. They did. But this is just the EU biting itself in the foot like, Russia, screw you. And then they're like, you know.
Then they have disruptions in Shein and Temu that they buy cheap stuff from. Yeah, but the point is actually here, it shows Europe fragility. It's very.
Yeah, it does.
It's actually serious because if China will have these issues with the border, they will just, take North Way. They're developing right now. They go through Arctic right now.
Well, they can already ship it through the Suez Canal, but it's like 30% more than...
US is far, but
yeah.
you know we have Nordic way.
Yeah.
That's because they're melting. Ices are melting in the north right now, and Russia actually is using icebreakers. And they had like few successful, I think, already trips from China to Russia, which is shorter if you go by north.
Nuclear icebreakers.
So they will definitely, nuclear icebreakers. The only icebreakers in the world Russia makes. So I think China might actually shift more of their attention there, and Europe will just lose here eventually. But that's my point. Trump's U-turn on Ukraine. After meeting Zelensky, Trump reversed course, now saying Ukraine can retake all its territory, calling Russia's a paper tiger with economic crisis. It's a dramatic shift in US rhetoric. That's in news.
Well, you know my response to that. I don't know if I can say that on camera, but... Anyways, different week, different Trump. Next week, he'll say something different.
Yeah, the funniest thing here actually that I saw, I don't know why people heard it in the way that he says, like, Ukraine is gonna win and take all the territories. And suddenly I went to Twitter and I see these guys who are like so much anti-Trump, these journalists, you know, who live in Kyiv, not Ukrainians, shouting, "That's all, I'm going full MAGA right now." And I'm like, could you actually hear what he says? Because he said that basically he's dropping all responsibility on Europe. That's what he meant, basically. Like, so go and figure out by yourself.
He's going to sell the weapons to Europe now. He's not giving them anymore. That's his whole plan is. Again, military-industrial complex. That's what's driving this. Said it before. They got out of Afghanistan. They needed a new war, and Ukraine was available.
I don't know. Do you think like they really profit much right now from this?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Will Europe buy?
Yeah, Europe is, because Europe has limited weapons manufacture compared to the US. The US is one of the leading exporters, and Europe can't keep up. Plus, Europe dropped a lot of its production over the last decades, and so they don't really have it.
Which was a critical mistake, apparently, too, by the way. Not only they shut down their nuclear power plants and they had problems with energy. Yeah.
Not all Germany. Germany did.
France only have nuclear.
Well, France produced something like, France is one of the biggest percentages of nuclear power in the world. It's like, I don't know, over half or something.
I mean, French always stay like separated, you know.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but...
No, we are leaving our nuclear energy. And that was the right decision for them. But Germany, yeah, damn. Middle East debates. So, in the wake of Israel's strike on Doha, some Arab states are reviving talk of a NATO-style regional defense alliance, seeking a new security architecture without relying solely on the US.
Yeah, but they're still buying their weapons from the US. Although, I don't know, I guess it's a mixture. I know Saudi buys their weapons mostly from the US.
Saudi is direct... not friend of the US, but like ally to the US, basically.
Yep.
In this region. And actually, when I saw that, it was funny for me because they were trying to do this for, I don't know, for a century, I think. There was Arab League before.
You know what they should call it? Middle Eastern Arab Treaty Alliance. MITO.
MITO. Me too?
Me too.
No, I think it's funny because they will, Saudi Arabia already rejected. They have more problems between themselves.
Yeah, they want to be able to attack each other.
Yeah, they might. They hate each other, actually, in fact. I mean, that's a huge problem, really, for decades there with Israel for them. Because, like, before there was a war with Israel, with Egypt, if you remember, they attacked also each other. There was a war, and Arab League could do nothing. And still, it's the same stuff, which is, I don't know why it's in news even. But apparently, it's so loud. So we have regional Russia-connected news right now. Let's see. Estonia airspace incident. NATO member Estonia says 3 Russian jets violated its airspace on September 19. Moscow denies.
Okay, here's what gets really bad. If you look at the map, basically, it like sticks up like, okay, it sticks up like kind of like this. And Russia took a shortcut across this corner. Okay? This is what they allege. So Russia said they didn't, and even now NATO is saying it may have been a mistake on Russia's point. They don't know.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But they just basically, they never approached, Estonian land. This was over basically international. So Russia's here, international airspace here, and there's a small little triangle between Russia. And instead of jutting up around it, they apparently cut across this triangle. Okay? But here's the worst part. The defense minister of Estonia said they were flying over Tallinn.
Yeah, I saw
like
that
they were going
too.
to bomb the city, like to bomb the capital. And this was so irresponsible. And they're like, Article 4. And the other countries are like, settle down, Chihuahuas, because, you know. And the thing is, Estonia has no jets at all, no fighter jets anyways. So Italy had to scramble some AWACS or somebody had some jets in Estonia that scrambled.
Poland, no?
Finland, no, it wasn't Poland. Finland scrambled some jets in Sweden. And they did the proper thing. Now everybody's like, shoot them down. But no, that's not the proper protocol. When there's a small incursion like that, the protocol is to meet and escort out. And that's what they did. And that's what happens with other accidental incursions. You don't shoot a jet down when it's a few miles inside.
Turks did.
Well, that was a different story.
But they did.
Yeah, they did. They did. But Turkey's a different story.
But that's the main argument, I think, like that European Union is not behaving as strict as supposed to.
Well, it's one thing, okay.
Because if they would shoot one day, then, I mean, if they would shoot once, then there won't be any planes flying close to border, probably, European one. Because they do not react, they still fly around.
No, I hear you there, but it's not worth the escalation when they're just a few miles. If they were headed towards Tallinn or really provoking whatever, I get it. But it's not, the problem with escalation is you escalate. And for an incursion like that, where it was clear that at best they were just nudging a little bit, they were literally, it was like somebody standing on the street and they put 2 feet across your driveway line, right? And you're like, nah, 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 nah. And you scream, Estonia, they're raping me. They're in my house. They broke down my door. And that's not what happened.
Because they're scared. They're small.
I know, but they're playing into Russia's hands is what they're doing. Because literally, you know, it doesn't make sense to shoot them down. Do they have the right to? Potentially, but it would just create an escalation that's not good for anybody.
But at the same time, if they will not react, you know, it might be just more and more. Like Putin is going to test their ability more and more. Already drones, last time we discussed drones flew into Poland,
there are ways
remember?
to react. There are ways to react other than shooting down. They intercepted, they escorted. That is a reaction.
So you think that's fine?
I think it's the appropriate reaction for not an incursion that's in an area where it's actually easy to misnavigate anyways. If you look at it, it's not a straight border like this. It's over the Baltic Sea. It's jagged like this. And in this case, they probably were just in there like, no. But it is an area that's very easily to accidentally come over a little bit, especially since it's right next to the Russian border.
Why are they flying there anyway?
They were going to Kaliningrad.
From where?
Karelia.
So why close to Estonian border? You know,
Because
where Karelia?
the international airspace where they fly is very narrow.
So your argument that it was like a mistake, but it's not.
I'm not saying it was a mistake or not, but I'm saying that since they were only a few miles in and they clearly were not headed towards the Estonian mainland, the proper protocol is to meet and escort, which the NATO jets did. There was no real threat.
Yeah, that's what they do with American jets when they're flying close to Russian border, close to
Intercept,
Alaska, Kamchatka. That's what they do usually. And
it's
there's
just
a
not
lot of shouts in the
It's
internet.
not worth the escalation. Is it worth complaining about? Yes. Is it worth intercepting? Yes. Is it worth escalating this to a whole nother level? No.
No, I agree with you on that. I'm just trying to bring another point of these people because they're really scared there. And, you know, they have reason to be scared, really. And historically, also the reason to be scared. So it makes sense why they react this way harshly.
But they were complaining like they were so close to Tallinn. The thing is, where they crossed, they could have gotten closer to Tallinn from international waters anyways.
No,
They could be in international waters and be closer than they were where they were. That's what people don't realize. The international waters are right there.
News also like to exaggerate everything to keep people scared. Several European Union nations, including Belgium, Hungary, France, and Germany, are balking at using frozen Russian assets, demanding legal guarantees and shared liability. So there's like around 210 billion of euros, of Russian euros, are frozen right now in Europe, and they still cannot decide what to do with them.
And there's around 150 to 200 billion in European foreign company firms still in Russia, which Russia has said they will seize if those are seized. So basically, the European Union will be shooting itself in the foot again because they'll be taking this money, they'll take 200 billion, give it to Ukraine, but then Russia will take 200 billion from European companies.
I think the problem here is not really with that, more than European Union was always positioned as a safe haven for money.
There's two issues, yes.
And if there's going to be a precedent like this, everyone is going to be scared.
No one's going to want to keep their Central Reserve in Europe.
Yeah, they will just immediately take planes with their money and flew somewhere to offshores and, I don't know, Dubai maybe. It's safe haven right now, apparently.
Well, you need a stable currency. What it's going to do, though, is going to push everybody back in dollars.
You can keep in gold.
Yeah, gold too.
Just transfer your money into gold. Anyway, it's going to be a huge problem. So I don't think really they are going to do this eventually. What's your prediction?
Don't underestimate the stupidity of von der Leyen, Kallas, and some of the others. The only reason they're not doing it right now is Belgium is standing up because Euroclear is a Belgian company, and they don't want this coming down on them.
Nobody wants to take responsibility. Yes. That makes sense. I'm just wondering, really, like, for how long this money are gonna be frozen?
Well, the U.S. has frozen Iranian funds for like 50 years. It's one thing to freeze it; it's another thing to confiscate it.
Then they're gonna be devalued so much.
No, because it's collecting interest.
But they're not working. This money are not working. They're just frozen.
It's collecting interest. When you deposit it in these things, they collect interest.
I don't know.
It does. In fact,
they do, but I mean,
their first effort was they wanted to seize the interest for Ukraine. And
I saw that.
So yes, it is bearing interest.
But still, like, you cannot play with them, because if one currency will collapse or the other one, they predict even that there's going to be economic collapse in the US next year. So if they have dollars, it's going to be a huge problem. Like, we're going to lose a lot. Anyway, let's see. Sweden denies sending Gripen jets to Ukraine. Do I pronounce it right? Or Gripen?
So I don't know who announced it, but somebody announced that Sweden's sending like 50 Gripen jets, and these jets are actually pretty good jets. They're reputable jets. They're in fact, they'd probably be better for Ukraine than the F-16s because the difference is the Gripens are designed to take off. The F-16s and the American planes, you need like all these computers and technology, perfect runways, and lipstick on the plane. It has to be perfect. These are like Russian planes. They're designed to take off from runways, fields if you have to. These are rough planes, and they're a very good plane. And somebody announced that there's like 50 of them coming to Ukraine, and some of them are already here. And Sweden's like, no, they aren't. And even Sweden's like, even if we were going to give them to you, we don't have any we don't have 50 to give you right now.
Who made them?
It's a Swedish company. Sweden makes them.
Sweden makes them?
Yeah, make their own planes. It was a Nordic thing, and it's a part of their own national defense strategy. And they're a pretty good jet. Why
would they give it to Ukraine? I think they need it by themselves right now, really.
Well, defense industry. Yeah. They want to make more.
Taiwan, how you pronounce it in English? Taiwan becomes top importer of Russian Naphtha.
Naphtha.
You read it like, we read it like F. Okay. Report says Taiwan's import of Russian Naphtha surged.
Maybe it's Naphtha. I don't know. What's it say on the screen?
It's Naphtha. Because in Russian it's Naphtha.
No, it's Naphtha.
Yeah, Naphtha.
Naphtha. I don't know. It's translated. It's actually, I think it's, anyways, okay. It's translated from Russian probably. So
no, I took it from news. I mean, that's how they write it. Naphtha, you see this.
Anyways, it's an important chemical. It's used in industrial stuff.
It's used in making semiconductors, actually.
Used in a lot of things.
Yeah, mostly semiconductors, so it's very...
Well, it's paint strippers too. It's a lot of industrial processes, but for Taiwan, it's very important.
It's very important.
It's a solvent. It's used in semiconductors for cleaning, but it's a solvent that's used in a lot of things, not just semiconductors.
So Taiwan is a top buyer in early 2025, and they are a supporter of Ukraine. So war is war, and money is money as always. Business is business. We have to, make semiconductors, I guess. It's returning back to this European package of sanctions, Russia still hits records in selling their stuff. So, Russian economy, this week, I don't know if you saw this, they are increasing taxes. So, Russia's finance ministry proposed raising VAT from 20 to 22, starting from 2026, with food and medicine exemptions uncharged. unchanged.
Sucks, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. But yeah, it's going to make a small increase in all the prices. It's going to increase everything by 2%.
It's not just VAT, that's the point. Like, it's news only, they talk about VAT, but actually they made a few changes. They are gonna change the whole, like, I think, taxation for individual businessmen, if you saw that. And it's a huge problem because Russia has different taxes for different companies, or this kind of, how to call that now, individual businessmen or companies like LLCs, entrepreneurs, right? So most of people who are like individual entrepreneurs, they are on a zone, like Amazon, American one, they are individual sellers. And they drop for them the minimum, right now they will have to pay additional taxes if they earn more than 10 million rubles. Before it was 60 million
10
rubles.
million is $10,000, right?
No, around.
Yeah.
Around.
Well, right now it's around 12,000 with the ruble.
Yeah, yeah, around like this. So it's a huge problem because these people will pay like very big difference. If their taxation was like 7%, so right now they will pay full taxes like company pays, and companies pay lots of taxes actually.
That's going to be a huge difference.
Yeah, and prices for products definitely will increase insanely.
Well, send me that link. I need to look at those details.
You should actually, it's quite dramatic for people.
Quick update, because we made a mistake on that. So I had said that 12 million rubles was like $12,000. That's completely wrong. It's like $140,000. But more to that, it hasn't been decided what limit they're going to put down. Right now it says it's at 60 million rubles, which is like $750,000 or so. And they're thinking about bringing it down to 30. Some claim the limit might be 30, which is like $370,000. They're saying it might even come down to 10, which is like $125,000. So it would affect the bigger business payers going under this, but it would still allow smaller entrepreneurs until they get up to a certain level. So it's not decided exactly what the threshold would be, whether they're going to load it all or it's 30 million or 10 million, but even if it's 10 million, it's 125,000, it still could affect a lot of people.
Average people just didn't know about it much, but people who are in business are crying already. And it shows us, that money are finishing, and they just increase taxes for everything they can right now. Unfortunately, we will witness it, I think, next year in prices for products, even simple things. And in addition to this, if you saw this new laws implemented, like they do not allow foreigners to work in taxi anymore. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They do not allow foreigners to work in delivery and
foreign cars for taxis.
Yes. And the logistics also, again, return back to this individual businessman, they could own companies for logistics. Like you have a car, big one, and you just register as this individual businessman, pay like 7% taxes per year, and work delivery, like some stuff, right? Right now, they will not be able to do this. Right now, they will be taxed as huge companies. So a lot of people will exit, unfortunately, this market. We will lose this middle or small business, unfortunately. It's going to create lots of troubles for us. Conscription. You saw this post.
Yeah, I don't see how it's going to affect. I mean, it's instead of twice a year, they're still going to pull the same numbers. They're just going to pull them once a month now, or? So
Russia, there is a law in Russia where they conscript new conscripts, maslo there, twice a year. It's in April and it's in July. From April to July.
It's mandatory military service,
yes,
which even a lot of Europe still has.
From October to December, so twice a year.
You do your 1 year service or something.
It depends, but mostly yes. I think it's 1 year right now. So it's not people
paint the
who
grass
are
or shovel snow or something usually.
Not really. It depends where you are. Anyway, it's not people who are sent to war. It's usually these youth who are just sitting somewhere painting walls and not shooting even, because I don't know what can you learn in 1 year, but that's another story. And they make it a huge thing. I think you saw it on Twitter. They said, Putin is conscripting 170,000. Did you see that?
Yeah, we should have cleaner sidewalks. Since a lot of them end up shoveling snow. I see them marching around in the winter. I saw them, they were carrying snow shovels, and I put it to hi-ho, hi-ho, off to work we go, because they give them basic training, and then they have to keep busy for a year. So they put them at public works usually. And if you refuse to serve, then my Russian friends told me they call it painting grass. They'll do something to keep you busy for the year.
Yes, it happens. It's true. But here's another thing. Like they make it a big thing, like Putin conscripted people right now, and they call it mobilization. And people do not understand that in Russia, it's mandatory service. Like it's been like this since forever. In Soviet Union too.
Yeah, and a lot of countries still have mandatory service. I don't know if anybody in Europe still does. I know Spain did 20 years ago. They got rid of it.
Israel has.
Yeah, Israel does.
South Korea has. I know.
So a lot of countries
Europe.
have this. That's what it is.
Baltic countries probably have. Even women, I think they serve there. No.
Where?
Baltic countries.
I don't know.
Like Estonia,
I'll check
Latvia,
real quick.
Lithuania. I think they have it because they don't have enough people, so they made changes to laws, and right now women are supposed to serve. I'm not sure.
I'm checking. So go ahead and go on.
That's the point. I think Americans don't understand mostly because Americans don't have this mandatory service. You have only on contract. So they think like, oh, Putin is mobilizing. He's not mobilizing anybody yet. At least we don't know. There's a lot of rumors that he is gonna mobilize because we're not moving enough.
It's slow, but it is forward.
Did you find something?
Austria, 6 months or 9 months. So Austria, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Greece, Lithuania, Norway, Switzerland, and Turkey.
They have mandatory.
Also Sweden, Latvia, and Cyprus. And then Germany, France, Italy, Spain have something kind of special.
No, it's actually surprising to me why he needs this change year-round conscription.
Maybe it's to even it out instead of getting these huge influxes all at once.
I don't know. It's harder to manage. You need to keep track of everyone.
You keep track of everyone anyways, but...
Well, they changed the law, right now. If they call you for draft, they used to bring a paper and hand it to you directly, and that only after this, it's considered that you got it.
People would keep the registration like in Siberia.
Yeah, somewhere.
And then like their mom would call like, oh, they wrote your paper. Be like, well, I'm in St. Petersburg. Okay, I'm off to Brussels today.
And people could actually escape this conscription. So right now they changed it, and right now you get it through e-government, and as everyone is registered.
And they put you in the border database right away.
Yes, and if you skip your timing, you do not go to this drafting service. They basically close border for you. You cannot travel anywhere. You cannot rent a car. You cannot drive a car, and
can't work.
You cannot exist in Russia anymore. It's awful. So I think that's probably. But let's see how it's going to work. I'm very curious, actually, knowing how our people, especially army, manages gasoline cups in Russian regions. Reports say some gas stations in central Russia and the Far East are rationing fuel, 10-20 liters per driver. Officials say it's not nationwide.
No, it's in certain areas. I did see a report today that Russia's considering importing refined gasoline, which they have done before from Asian countries. They ship the crude and they refine it somewhere and they bring it back.
Which doesn't make sense at all.
Yep.
I don't know, actually. Like, it's in some areas, indeed. Like, I saw that it's in Leningrad Oblast, close to us. They start rationing, but it's not like nationwide. I think officials are right here. Because I spoke also with my friends from south, and some of they say, like, Volgograd area, it's close to Rostov-on-Don, which is close to Ukraine, basically. They say, like, they might, some, like, governmental, like, Lukoil, this kind of places, they actually have gas, but some private gas stations, there might be problems, and you might stand in a queue there. I don't know about rationing. In some places probably, I saw in news that they ration in Crimea today.
Oh yeah, Crimea has a shortage, but
that's what I saw.
There was also a whole convoy of trucks headed towards Crimea with fuel.
The point again, why this news made so much into American and European tabloids is like they think that Russia is going to collapse because of that. Again, it's going to be bad. Maybe it's going to be how to call it? I don't know. Problematic. But it's not going to collapse. Like public transportation will be filled. Public transportation is working even in Crimea, by the way. They have no issues with that. Prices probably are going to rise as always. But no, Russia is not going to collapse because of this. It's not the first country with these problems, let's say. Hidden germs. Surrogate. Do I pronounce it right?
Surrogate.
Surrogate alcohol poisonings in northwest Russia. In the Leningrad region and nearby districts, at least 33 people have died after drinking methanol-tainted alcohol.
So basically somebody was selling moonshine, and as often happens with moonshine, if you don't get the distillation process right, you end up with poisonous types of alcohol, and 30 people died.
Did you figure out what was this actually? I was searching today specifically for this news. I couldn't figure out. It was a company. From what they detained some people who were selling. 10 people have been detained. It was not like a big. They were selling it out of their flats. It was a big group. It was a big group of people, but it was not like a company selling it at a grocery Not in the
stores.
shop.
The thing is, alcohol. Even for Russians, alcohol is so cheap here. Why would you be like, you know what? Let's buy it out of this guy's basement. I'm not going to go down to the store and spend $303 on a bottle of wine.
That's what I'm not sure.
Or $4 on a bottle of vodka. I'm going to go over here and spend $3.50 on a bottle of this thing coming out of the guy's basement.
It's actually a huge number because 33 people died. It's insane amount of people. I thought it's in shop because we had these cases.
No, it
they were
wasn't
selling in shops and then they.
That was in the
guys.
90s. Yeah, I remember.
Not even in the 90s. It's like it happened sometimes, but this is so weird. Some people make alcohol at home even here.
Yeah, well, the thing is, making wine is safe, making beer is safe. It's when you make the higher proof ones. The spirits, that's where it gets dangerous because you have to distill it right. When you distill it, you're separating the good alcohol from the bad alcohol. And if you don't do the process right, you end up with the poison. So it's like that, those girls that got poisoned in Thailand or someplace recently.
Didn't see that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's interesting also case to talk about because we have this... what's the name of this company? I forgot. Rospotrebnadzor, I think, that actually monitors all these cases of poisonous, not only alcohol. In general, if you go to shop, I don't know, to restaurant, and you ate some meat, and then you ended up at hospital, they will come to you and check where were you eating, and you will name all the places, and they will go and check all these places, and they will find where it is. Like my friends got poisoned like that, actually, in one meat place here, and they figured what was wrong because meat wasn't stored right, and this company was fined. This is so severe in Russia. They monitor each case like that. They were just family of three.
Food quality here is a serious issue, much more than most Western countries.
Especially if people die, of course, it's serious stuff. Especially if they're kids, that's another story. St. Petersburg AI is to hunt icicles. So the city is rolling out an AI system called Городовой that will scan rooftops for snow and icicles to prevent winter accidents.
Yeah, so we have this problem that on the buildings, these big icicles sometimes accumulate and the building management doesn't clean them. And sometimes they fall, and every year, we're a city of 5.5 million people, but usually every year, 4 or 5 people die from falling icicles. Usually when it falls, they're coming through a passageway, and they just happen to be coming through when it falls at the same time. They're on a street, and so it is a problem. And so they want to basically, because it's the responsibility of the building, homeowners associations or ownership of the building, depending on what kind of building it is. And they want to use AI to monitor this to help find violations.
Which AI? I don't know.
Maybe they'll drive around with trucks and with pictures, Google cars with icicle detection.
That's hilarious. It's probably going to use these cameras that are on every corner here, and then use this for something useful. They're gonna
network the babushkas.
I don't know why we always have this problem in the winter actually with these icicles.
That's what we should do. We should just hook up all the babushkas. Give all the babushkas a free icicle hotline, and they can report all the icicles.
And they will be more professional than AI, definitely.
And then when you get somebody to come out to clean them, the babushka can supervise the people.
But that's the problem,
We can use the conscripts, and the babushkas can supervise the conscripts.
They're great managers. So that's the problem. They see where icicles are, but you cannot collect that many people. They try their hard actually, because it's not random people can go to a roof actually and drop these icicles. Every year they employ this guys who go to mountains. What's the name of them?
Mountain climbers?
I guess there's a name for this profession, who
Mountain climbers.
I guess. So they are actually licensed. My friend was one of them. And they go there and drop this... Huh?
Sherpa?
What's that?
Internet's like a mountain guide.
No, I forgot how they're called. Господи, I forgot even in Russian.
We call them mountain climbers in English.
I guess that's the word. So they're licensed, these guys, and there are not so many of them because it's like the city problem.
Well, they can fly drones around with cameras.
That will be not even with laser, you know, prevent. Now here they want to drop snow actually, prevent creation of icicles. Anyway. Actually, people who follow me, they told me that they face the same problem in Canada every year. So it's not like only here. The quiet cash desk meme. Remember this photo? You're going to put it here, I guess. So yeah. Chad saw this photo and sent me, is this true? And the photo says that it went viral apparently on X, claimed that Russian veterans were often aggressive and needed a special quiet checkout line in the shop.
No, that's not what it said. No. It said, if I understood it right, it said that the cashier working at this desk is a veteran.
Yeah.
And he's scared of loud noises.
So
please be quiet. If he yells back at you, ignore him. And it was completely photoshopped and distributed by Ukrainian propagandists.
And it is there in the internet for like a few years actually circulating from what we figured. Of course, there's nothing like this. And these guys are not going to work even in cashiers, by the way. They have other stuff to do eventually. This is just another example of how actually Ukrainian propaganda spreads so fast, and the dumper it is, the faster it spreads. Okay, an exotic hornbill escape. Hornbill?
Yes.
What's the name? So such a weird name.
Because it's bill, the beak is the bill, and it's really big. It looks like a horn because it's really big. So basically, it's this bird, and I'll put it on the screen, but it looks like a big toucan. It's got the big thing, and it's an Indian one. And they were moving it to the winter enclosure and it escaped.
Yes, it escaped.
And they're worried it's going to die because it's getting colder here. So they put out this bird alert. And people started making memes of the bird eating pishki, donuts, and, you know, the bird reading books. But the bird has been sighted several spots. It's spotted by Spartivnia, which is near the zoo. And they were spotted near Lenfilm, which is also by the zoo. So it seems to be hanging around the zoo.
Somewhere.
They did drop some food for it, but they didn't capture it. But they said at least it's eaten now. So they've been trying to tranquilize it. They're trying to capture it. They're asking people if you see it to call emergency services, or that the bird is very tame. You can get close to it, throw your winter coat over it, and call the zoo.
Yeah, cover with with anything because it's scared it's gonna fly and probably it's gonna die of cold. Yeah. Actually, there's something about at least St. Petersburg. We have so many people who take care of animals so much. Yeah. And like one of my friends, she's a volunteer in this company that search for dogs. If dog disappears in one area, they go and they do this, you know, huge rescue team and they search for this dog.
Yeah, dog detectives.
And the whole area is gathering people who live around and they go to search for this dog. I took part in this even. So people are like so much, I don't know, like animal lovers here or what, or they are maybe transferring replacing some of their, I don't know how to explain, like some of the things that they cannot do in real life towards people, they, you know, transfer it to dogs and animals. So I hope they're going to actually find this bird alive because it's
there have been several sightings, so that's looking
a beautiful,
possible.
Beautiful bird. Mm-hmm. Eternal flame doused at Mars field. 2 young men were caught on camera warming their hands and then pouring liquid on St. Petersburg eternal flame. They've been arrested and face criminal charges. Again.
I mean, the thing is here, you know this is going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
In other countries, you might be like, oh, they're just going to yell at me or something. But no, this is a serious thing in Russia. And everybody knows it because idiots do it about once a year and they go to jail for it. And everybody knows.
Even more.
And sometimes they're just drunk. So they've already caught 2 people they say are the suspects. But I don't know if they were drunk or they're just idiots. But if you come to Russia, don't pee on the eternal flames. Don't roast marshmallows on it. Don't break out the hot dogs, okay?
Don't take naked photos in front of cathedrals.
Yes.
And all those kind of stuff. Yeah, it's
take them in front of my windows instead.
It's very sensitive here, guys. Very serious. So that's all news for today. We have only our life stories that we share every week.
You should go first.
Okay, what I promised to tell you in the beginning, why we skipped last week, because I got married. And I married my boyfriend after like, how many, Eric? He's here, by the way, sitting in front of us, watching us recording this video. After 5 years, I think.
We've known each other for 6.
Yeah,
Together.
we've known each other for 6 years, and after like almost 5 years of actually dating, we married in Georgia. So we traveled to Georgia, so I couldn't attend last week, our last week meeting, unfortunately. And we just came.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank
Welcome back.
you. And everyone asks me, why Georgia? Why Georgia? Because my boyfriend is American.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not Russian. So.
Yes, and he needs a document that is going to work in the US.
He's,
and I need
he's after your Russian passport.
Definitely. Yeah. And I need to avoid paying taxes in America. No, you will text anyway, even if you're in Russia. American passport makes you, forever slave for taxes.
Yeah.
So and I need document that works in Russia. So we chose middle ground to marry. And thank you, Georgia, for welcoming us. Streets weren't that welcoming for Russians, though. I noticed so much stuff there. But interesting, it's changing. But there's a lot of graffiti, like Russia is terrorist state, whatever stuff. Putin, whatever. We're not gonna stay here. I want to stay free, not imprisoned. But lots of signs of European Union, and everywhere you go, it's like I don't know how they use another graffiti to cancel it. Like there's clear, like I don't know, division in society. I think right now there, like it's not that stable as it was before. Like everyone was against Russia. Right now, not really. And I felt like I'm in Russia. We walk. I thought I'm gonna speak in English there, but no. They even spoke to him in English, in Russian. And my boyfriend, was answering in Russian to them. Спасибо, здрасте, привет. There's so many of them. That surprised me so much, actually.
So, well, the only news I have is that the Duma, which is the Russian Senate, basically got me fast-tracked for Russian citizenship.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I hope you'll get your passport as soon as possible.
Yeah. Which, because I have this unicorn status of being on asylum here, which is good, but I have to renew it every year. What's more important is I had back surgery when I was like 19, and they said I might have to have it, and I have to have it again. This time I need a fusion. And in this unicorn status, the Russian healthcare system will take me, but I have to wait. But if I'm a citizen, there's no waiting.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, well, it's a very short wait, basically, because right now I have to go to a certain fund, and when I'm a citizen, I can go to the federal fund.
But there's still queue there, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not that long. I mean, last time I waited 2 years for the surgery, and the pain now is not as bad as it was when I waited 2 years for it in the US.
Yeah, if you...
So right now, I won't have, right now I'm kind of at the end, and I'll basically get pushed, to the normal queue, and it should happen pretty quick once I get that. So
let's hope.
That's
Actually,
fast track to get my passport, and then I can get the surgery sooner.
Also, if you're gonna get worse, they will speed it up.
Yeah.
So let's hope you will not. But yeah, let's hope you're gonna get your passport as soon as possible. Finally.
Yeah.
And we will travel to North Korea.
Yep.
Together.
Yep. Oh, definitely. I have a friend who works with the North Korean government, so I can.
And then we're going to be called definitely Russian propagandists.
And I've got Iran on my list too, because then I'll have all 4 of the Satans on the list: Cuba, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. I got to get all 4. It's like I got to get a tour.
Definitely.
So I think that's it for this week. Yeah.
I guess so. Today time was great, by the way.
So, до свидания.
That's all for today. Thank you for staying with us, and see you next week. Пока-пока.